There is a forgotten village hidden at the base of the Aokigahara forest, the Sea of Trees, a place shrouded in mist where the air is thick and the crows never leave. This village doesn't appear on maps, and those who know of it speak only in whispers. They call it Kurokami-mura, the village of black hair. No one visits it now. The roads leading there are overgrown. The Torii gate that once marked its entrance leans at an angle, smothered in moss and vines, as if the earth itself is trying to bury it. The silence around that place is heavy, like a breath being held. Many years ago, Kurokami-mura was just a quiet farming community, known for its beautiful rice terraces and the sweet scent of plum blossoms in the spring. But the village had rules, and those who lived there obeyed them, not out of tradition, but out of fear. The rules were simple. Never pass through the Torii gates after dark, never keep mirrors in your bedroom, and never speak the name Sayako aloud. Nobody explained why, and no one dared to ask. It was just how it had always been. The elderly warned, the parents reminded, and the children obeyed. Until one boy didn't. His name was Ren. He was 7 years old when he broke the first rule. It was a summer afternoon, thick with the buzz of cicada. Ren was playing with his cousin Mika, near the edge of the woods. That's when he saw something half buried in the dirt beside the Torii gate. A doll. It was beautiful, in a strange way, handmade, with jet black silk hair that shimmered in the sunlight. The kimono it wore was faded red, with tiny golden leaves embroidered across the sleeves. But its face was blank, white cloth with nothing but a red thread smile, and 2 round, black beads for eyes. Ren picked it up, curious. Mika gasped and slapped it out of his hands. "That's hers," she whispered. Ren had never heard the name before. When he asked his parents about it that night, his father grew silent. His mother paled and quietly told him never to go near the gate again. She didn't explain. She just burned a stick of incense and placed it near the door before bedtime. Ren didn't understand the fear, but he remembered it. That week, strange things started happening. First, all of his mother's sandals. Every pair she'd woven unraveled overnight, their fibers coiled like snakes. Then the koi in their garden pond floated, but their red and white scales dulled as if the color had been drained from them. Their dog disappeared, and 3 days later, it was found on the edge of the woods, stiff, silent, with no wound but eyes wide open in fear. Every night, Ren would hear a sound from the wooden walls near his bed. A slow, steady scratching, as if nails or claws were raking against the boards just inches from his head. He told his parents. They tried to comfort him. They moved him to another room. But the scratching followed. Then, Mika began sleepwalking. Ren woke one night to find her standing by the sliding door, eyes open but blank. Her mouth moved, lips forming words he couldn't hear. He crept closer. "She's waiting," Mika whispered. "She's waiting by the gate." The next day, 3 elders came to the house. They were old men in white robes, their eyes sunken and voices low. They placed bowls of salt in the corners of the home and gave Ren a scroll to sleep with under his pillow. One of them asked him to draw the doll he'd seen. Ren sketched its round face, its simple kimono, the lifeless thread of its mouth. The man stared at the drawing for a long time, then folded it, tucked it into his robe, and said quietly, "She's looking for someone. Pray she doesn't think it's you." That night, the boy's mother finally told him the truth. Sayako had once lived in Kur. Many years ago, she was just a girl, beautiful and quiet, but strange. Things happened around her. Candles would extinguish when she entered her room. Mirrors cracked. Birds died near her house. She never cried, never laughed, and always carried a doll made of red silk. Some said she was a demon in human skin. Others said she was cursed, born under an evil star. One year, during the Oban festival, a fire broke out in the shrine. Sayako had gone there alone to offer incense. No one else was inside. But when the villagers saw the flames, they hesitated. Not because they feared the fire, but because they feared her. By the time someone stepped forward, it was too late. She survived, but barely. Her body was burned, her face twisted. Her long black hair, which had once been her pride, was gone. When she died, 3 days later, the villagers whispered that her soul wouldn't rest. They buried her in secret, beneath the Torii gate, not to honor her, but to contain her. They buried the doll with her. It was said to be her tether, the only thing keeping her spirit in place. But if the doll were ever to be disturbed, it meant Sayako had awakened. Ren stopped sleeping. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the doll. Its mouth no longer stitched shut, but open wide, grinning. and in its shadow stood a figure, a girl with hair like wet rope, and a face that seemed to bleed without end. In every mirror, Ren caught glimpses. Not full reflections, just flickers, a hand reaching from behind, a second shadow, a whisper that wasn't his. And then one night, Mika vanished. Her futon was cold in the morning. The front door hung open, and in the mud, they found small, barefoot prints leading away from the house, straight to the Torii gate. The villagers searched the forest for days, but they found nothing except the doll. It lay on the mossy path, face up now. Its red thread smile had unraveled. The elders warned Ren's parents Sayako was not just searching anymore. She had chosen. Something about Ren, his blood, his face, his presence, had awakened her longing, or her rage. One of the elders gave Ren a small silver bell, etched with a fox. "If she comes for you," he said, "ring this. It may hold her back for a moment." Ren asked, "Why me?" The elder did not answer. Days passed. The scratching continued. The air in the house grew colder, heavier. Even the birds seemed to avoid their roof. One night, Ren awoke to a voice. It came from inside the wall, soft, like breath through a crack in the wood. Ren closed his eyes. The voice came again. "You look just like him." "Like who?" He opened his eyes and saw his reflection in the lacquered wardrobe. But it wasn't just his face. Behind him stood Sayako, skin raw and torn, eyes black and bottomless, hair like seaweed dripping across her shoulders. And in her arms, the doll. Ren turned. The room was empty, but in the reflection, she remained, smiling. He screamed. The elders came. They placed stronger charms, burned paper talismans, chanted prayers through the night. But they all knew it wouldn't be enough. The next evening, Ren's mother took him by the hand and walked with him to the Torii gate. She didn't speak. She just knelt in the mud and placed a folded paper at the base of the arch. Then she whispered, "Not again, please. Not again." Ren didn't ask what she meant. That night, he dreamt of water. Cold, black water. He stood in it up to his waist, unable to move, while something just beneath the surface circled him. The doll floated past. Then Mika, her eyes were closed, her mouth filled with thread. He woke in tears. The next night Sayako came. He didn't see her arrive. He just heard the door slide open. The air turned sharp and wet. His candle flickered, then died. And from the darkness, her voice came. "You left me." He didn't move. He called me. He clutched the bell. "You look just like him." She stepped into the light, and this time, she wore his cousin Mika's face. A face stitched crudely over her own. Too small, sagging at the corners. Her eyes glowed faintly, and in one hand, the doll dangled by its neck. "Come with me," she said. Ren stepped back, but the floor behind him was no longer floor. It was stone, cold and ancient. The house was gone. He stood beneath the Torii gate, in darkness that swallowed the stars. Sayako reached out her hand. He saw now. Her fingers were jointed like a spider's legs, her nails long and cracked. Her skin pulsed like it was breathing. "Come." The bell slipped from his hand. As it fell, it rang. A single, clear chime, and the darkness shattered. Ren awoke in his bed, drenched in sweat. His mother sobbed beside him. His father knelt in the corner, clutching the silver bell. They left the village that night. No goodbyes, no explanation, just silence. Within a year, Korakamimura was abandoned. The rice fields grew wild. The houses rotted. The Torii gate leaned further with each season, and beneath it, in the moss and shadow, the doll waits. They say, if you find it, don't touch it. Don't even look too long. Just turn around and leave. And if you ever hear a voice in the mirror call your name, don't answer. Because Sayako remembers, and Sayako never forgives.